Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chesterton's Jest, where we keep a critical eye on faith and culture, especially within the Catholic Church today. In an age where even church teachings seem to be shifting, we're here to explore and question the ideas and changes that challenge timeless truths. Through thought-provoking, often humorous perspectives, we aim to bring clarity to conversations others might avoid, holding fast to orthodoxy with the courage to question what feels off track. If you would like to join us as we dig deeper into the faith with reverence, wit, and a touch of Chestertonian insight, you can support this channel by gently pressing the like, share, and subscribe buttons in that order, and we thank you for your support. And now, without further ado, the New Inquisition, cancel culture's reign of terror. Introduction: the new age of ideological purity. Cancel culture is not merely a social phenomenon or passing trend. No, it is the birth of a new Inquisition, a modern-day trial by fire, except the flames are digital and the courtrooms are Twitter feeds and Facebook posts. For those who live in the light of the internet's never-ending scrutiny, this is no idle warning. It is a profound shift in how we handle dissent, and if we squint closely enough, we might notice a familiar pattern, a chilling echo from history's darkest chapters, where questioning the established narrative came with a swift and often brutal punishment. Inquisitions of old weren't merely about keeping people in line. They were about purging thought, eradicating heresy, and molding society into a singular vision of purity. Fast forward to today, and we find a modern form of ideological policing. Except now, the purity is not theological, but ideological. The heresies we see today aren't religious, but political or social. To deviate from the accepted dogma even slightly is to risk being cast out from the collective. It doesn't matter if you are a celebrity, a politician, or an ordinary citizen. If you dare to challenge the mainstream narrative, you will be dragged to the digital gallows. It seems we have entered an era where being wrong is a sin, and any misstep, no matter how minor, is met with swift and unforgiving justice. Chapter 1. The Rebirth of the Inquisition. Just like its historical counterpart, the modern Inquisition thrives on the premise of ideological purity. In the medieval world, deviating from the Church's teachings, or even questioning them, was a one-way ticket to the stake. Today's standards are far more elusive, more dangerous because they can change in the blink of an eye. What was once celebrated as progressive thinking can quickly become labeled as oppressive. It's a dizzying game of moral whack-a-mole. A statement that is perfectly acceptable today can be torn apart tomorrow. It's as if the mob is playing a game of moral roulette where no one is safe. This shifting standard is not only unfair, it's deeply disorienting. No one knows what will set off the cancellation trigger tomorrow. Was it your harmless joke from 10 years ago? Your tweet from 2011? The fact that you used to have a different opinion on a controversial issue? The rulebook is written by a constantly evolving moral elite whose goal isn't truth, but uniformity. And what they demand is a confession, an apology that must meet their ever-moving ideological bar. The most tragic part? We've lost any meaningful conversation. The polarization of modern society has made it so that instead of debating our differences, we instead seek to destroy those who think differently. Chapter 2. The Tyranny of the Virtue-Signaling Mob. In this modern Inquisition, the mob is the new church, and it is obsessed with virtue signaling. These crusaders, many of whom have never had a single original thought, would rather publicly declare their righteousness than actually engage in a meaningful discussion. But like the most insidious purges in history, cancel culture operates under the veil of moral superiority. If you don't agree with them, it's not just that you are wrong, you are evil. You don't simply hold a different opinion, you represent an existential threat to society's well-being. What is perhaps most remarkable about this new breed of virtuous witch hunters is how absolutely certain they are of their moral superiority. Much like the inquisitors of the past, the moral crusaders of today hold themselves to be above reproach. They cannot err. They are above the law, for their righteousness is their shield. What's more, they actively seek out heretics, hunting for any trace of incorrect thought, words, or actions in their past. And once identified, the accused are mobbed, shamed, and exiled. No trial, no defense, no opportunity to explain. Chapter 3. The irony of self-righteousness. What is perhaps the most delicious irony of cancel culture is that in their zeal for ideological purity, these new moral crusaders are often doing more harm than good. While they claim to seek justice, they've become the very thing they claim to be fighting against: oppressors. Silencing speech is hardly the pathway to enlightenment or progress. Yet, that's precisely what the cancel culture mob does. In their desire to purify the world, they end up creating a culture of fear where no one dares to speak out, lest they be next on the chopping block. The moral purity they espouse is self-destructive. It undermines the freedom of expression, and ultimately, it weakens society by preventing healthy debate and dialogue. Ironically, the very thing they seek to protect, equality, fairness, and inclusion, is being eroded by their obsessive focus on exclusion. Chapter 4. The Future of Cancel Culture, a Kingdom Built on Sand. Where does this lead? History, as it often does, offers us some guidance. The Inquisition eventually collapsed under the weight of its own absurdity, becoming a relic of a time when the world thought ideological purity could be achieved through force. Cancel culture is not immune to the same fate. Eventually, it will eat itself alive. Everyone who has power today will eventually be cancelled tomorrow. The world cannot sustain moral absolutism forever, just as totalitarian regimes inevitably collapse under their own weight. Cancel culture's days are numbered. It thrives now, but it can't survive forever in a society that values freedom, individuality, and the ability to speak openly. It will crumble as we realize that we need dialogue, not denunciation, conversation, not condemnation, and above all, tolerance, not tyranny. Chapter 5. The Conclusion. A Future Beyond Purity. Cancel culture is the latest chapter in the long, tragic story of attempts to create perfect societies through purges and purifications. Whether it's medieval heresy trials or modern-day social justice warriors, we've seen before that ideological purity is the most dangerous path to social harmony. We must resist the temptation to fall into the trap of self-righteousness and instead embrace a world where dissent is allowed, debate is welcomed, and forgiveness is possible. In the end, this modern Inquisition will not stand because it is built on a lie, and the truth is always more powerful than the mob's latest moral crusade. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and share our passion for defending the true faith with a touch of humor, be sure to head over to chestertonsjest.com and check out our collection of bold, pro-Catholic graphic tees designed to spark conversation and inspire conviction. Whether you're looking to wear your faith proudly or share a laugh, we've got something for everyone. Visit us today and join the movement, because in times like these, it's more important than ever to stand firm in our beliefs with style and wit. As Chesterton once said, a madman is not someone who has lost his reason. A madman is someone who has lost everything except his reason. So, let's keep our reason and our faith intact. together. Thanks for listening. God bless you, and may the good Lord be praised.